Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. As you can see, we're a few man light, and that's because certain man don't take pre-season seriously and they've gone on holiday whilst we're grafting. But we're not alone. Nah. We're joined by a special guest. Some of you may know him as an accredited writer for 360.
Behind the scenes star.
we have with us in the studio, we have Mr. T Brown. We're saying T Brizzy.
I'm good still.
Why is he changing his voice as well?
People said try to put a bit of bass in that, innit?
Man tried to put a reverb on his own
voice modulator,
sick,
bro.
Man. But a lot to unpack in a very short amount of time. Yeah, but both our teams,
a couple weeks.
Yeah, been a couple weeks. But
a lot of stuff's happening.
the streets are talking. The streets are active for both of our teams. I'm for United as well. Where are we starting? You know what? Let's start with the man them that want challenges.
What do you mean?
There's professional footballers, a couple now, that saying that they want new challenges.
Real talk.
Eriksen and
we need
Pogba.
to
Start with Eriksen. We can start with Eriksen.
Start with Eriksen. Yeah, I like Eriksen.
Eriksen's been the first of the Spurs boys that you lot have been saying for months now. They're all going to leave. I think he's the first that's come out and said, I want to leave for a new challenge.
No,
Do I
that was
blame
Carl
him?
Walker, bro. Carl Walker was the first.
Walker's old news though, man. He got shown in the
Danny
semi-final.
Rose did a little one as well.
Huh?
At one point, right?
Danny Rose did it, yeah.
Got left out for time.
No one wanted him. That was a problem. With Eriksen, there's actual appeal out there. There's a demand, and that's the thing. But for me, the question is what demand? Because with Madrid now having been the only target, they've now gone and signed Hazard. And I would have thought that's an upgrade on Eriksen, essentially. So I look at the depth of Madrid, who you've got Rodrigo, Vinicius, Isco, Asensio, and Hazard. Are they going to pay another 100 mil for Eriksen? I think it's a big gamble.
Is it 100 mil though?
Listen, that's what he's valued. That's what the market tells me he's
Eriksen's
valued
not
at.
worth 100 mil.
He won't go for 100
that's
mil,
not
but he'll
100.
go for big
Let's
money.
get
The
realistic.
thing is, are they willing to go even over 50?
I think, to put it this way,
Who
Hazard
said Real Madrid wanted him, first of all?
Well, that's the only team I've heard linked with him.
So you've made that up then?
I've not made it up. That's what the papers are saying.
I didn't
That's
see
what
that
the
in
papers are saying.
I read the
Hey,
papers
T
every day.
Brown, you're an informed journalist. Tell us what's
I'm saying. I
what's
didn't
Sky
read
Sports
that.
saying? You
I didn't see that on
You
no
didn't see
Sky
that?
Sports. I
When you were
didn't see
talking,
that, no way.
what's
who's you linked with?
Balogun saying?
Huh?
So who's you linked with?
I haven't seen anyone
What's
linked with him. to
What's
be honest.
what's Henry Winter saying about this
Bro,
transfer?
them man are just, they're not saying too much. I didn't see that in the papers about it.
Okay.
Now I just want to know what you're saying, because now Spurs are losing all their players.
Lose
You was
all?
you was
What?
happy first of all,
Because one player's leaving,
Hold
that's
on,
all of
I
that.
can't even finish now.
Go on.
All right, cool.
You was a journalist, you know.
You was happy to reach one Champions League final.
Right.
Like you was talking as a trophy.
Right.
And I told you, if Spurs don't start winning stuff, everyone's kicking. Now Eriksen's the second one, because Walker was the first.
If you want to say
What you saying for your team now?
Tell you what, in a nutshell.
What is there to say?
In a nutshell, what is this? If you guys reached the Champions League final, and he's saying that he wants a new challenge
To actually win it, yeah. Which is the challenge, basically.
So what's going on with
So
the project?
is there a more realistic chance of him winning it if he's at Madrid?
Well, no, that's
Then
what I'm
yeah.
asking.
No, but I'm just asking.
answering. I think if there's a more realistic option for him out there, go for it. I don't blame him. He's 27 now, in the peak of his career. He's given us 4 or 5 years. He hasn't won anything. I don't see the harm.
How about the
you
Pogba
could say the
side?
same for Hazard and Pogba.
Yeah, how about the Pogba side?
The Pogba side is the same. He's been at United now 3 years, about to approach the prime. He's won the World Cup. He wants to move on and actually win the Champions League and win league titles.
No.
T
But
Brown,
he's a
when
flop though.
T Brown, when did
Pogba.
He hasn't done.
He's
Definitely
a
hasn't
flop.
lived up
If he
to
leaves this summer, he's a flop.
what? Because he came to the Prem and he didn't
He
deliver.
came to the Prem. He's supposed to be like superstar,
the game changer for
like
United.
A1 level.
Yeah, he didn't.
And he
deliver.
has not had one good season in the Prem. Not even one.
Not even
What's
last
it-
season.
Bro, he had a patch of being good. He never had a season where from the start to the end, he had a 6 season. He was good. He's
I
had
agree.
And what's that? Is that
bits
down to?
here
Is that
and
down
there.
to? Is that down to solely him, or is that down to that him and the infrastructure around him is not good
No,
enough?
but at the same time, like I'm gonna use Hazard as an example.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chelsea are whack.
Yeah.
Dead team. This
Yeah.
guy does everything for Chelsea. He still had a consistently good season, even though when Chelsea were
there
going
was a blip.
No, but he's had. If you
There
look
was
at
a blip
his
in the
season,
season.
he's had a full packet.
There was
He's
7
had
games.
He's had a good
There was a
season.
7-game blip.
Okay.
He's had a full good season.
Yeah.
Pogba has not yet to have one full good season
Okay.
at Man United.
Okay, but are you talking about the last? Let's talk about last season, right? So if you take Hazard away from
Fuck Hazard,
Chelsea,
because you know what? He's
No,
he's
but
levels for
if you
Pogba.
take Hazard
What
away
about
from
Zlatan?
Chelsea,
When Zlatan was at United and United finished 6th, he had a good season.
no,
Yeah.
100%.
He had a consistently good season that whole
100%.
season.
100%.
Pogba hasn't
Pogba
had
was in
that.
team of the year though. That's the only thing I would say is if you're
For me,
comparing
I
him to other centre mids, what other centre mids would you say were better?
I wouldn't even need to do that. I would say if you take Pogba out of that United team, where do they finish? For being realistic,
Way
But
below.
they didn't.
Like,
what
I know what you're
They-
saying.
that's
I
what
hear
I'm
what
saying,
you're
no.
saying.
What I'm saying is
Take
they
all
finished
3
sixth
for
years.
with
Man
him.
United.
No, I'm
6th.
saying last season they finished 6th with him. Imagine if you take it's even worse.
That's what
Like,
I'm saying.
he's supposed to be a rude boy. Like he's
I think
supposed to be.
he was maybe the
10-10.
only shining light in their team last season, if there was any.
shining
Like,
light. Come
If
on,
there
bruv.
was any, like
There
United had a
wasn't one
bad
shining
season
light. Even
last
De Gea
year.
wasn't a shine. David De Gea, yeah, perfect example. United have been whacked for years. He's apart from last season, he's always been good.
Yeah.
Solidly good all season. Pogba's never had a solidly good.
So we're saying what De Gea
one
is looking for a new
campaign.
challenge as well.
Bruv, he
is that-
needs a
is
new
that-
challenge. he needs a new challenge, bruv.
So what are you
He's,
saying on
he's
Pogba
behind
then?
Kepa now
Yeah, so what-
for Spain.
So what are you saying on Pogba then? He doesn't even deserve this Madrid move.
I'm saying is, Pogba, if he leaves this summer, I don't know what people deserve. I'm just saying, if he leaves this summer, he's a flop, bruv. He hasn't
Alright,
had
cool. Let's
one
put it like
good
this.
season.
Let's put it like this. He's a flop, right? But Madrid buying Pogba, who benefits here? If Man United manage to get their money back in a little bit more, and Madrid get the caliber of player that Pogba has shown he can be, then yeah, he might have
That's
been
what I'm
deemed a
saying.
flop in the Prem, but still, you
I'm
know
not saying
what?
he's a dead player.
Yeah.
Don't get
No,
it
that's
twisted.
what I'm saying.
I'm
Like,
saying
his
for the
legacy-
Prem, for what he came with a world record
Yeah,
fee,
yeah.
and he has not once ever shown anything close to being a world record baller. That's what I'm saying.
So his legacy in the Premier League will be tainted.
Yeah.
But it's the same way how you pointed out that Guardiola's legacy for Champions
Champions
League.
League will be
If
it's
we go back,
tainted.
it would
Guardiola's
yeah,
be-
tainted in the Champions
would be
League.
tainted in a
Champions
few
League,
years
yeah.
if he doesn't win things.
Guardiola's tainted in the Champions League when he's already won
So
two.
what I'm trying to point out is that it's down
No,
to
no,
perception,
mate,
'cause
don't
if he
let
goes
him run
Madrid
from that.
No, wait,
He
wait,
said
wait. We'll go
Guardiola's
back to it.
tainted.
We'll go back to it because if he goes
That's
Madrid now,
crazy.
if he goes back to Madrid and he finishes and he wins bare stuff, it will be like, okay, what? You've gone to Madrid, you won a Champions League, you brought them the league after how many years? You've won a World Cup in your career and whatnot.
He'll have won everything.
People-
But
yeah.
I'm not saying he's he's
No,
shit.
no. What I'm
he's
saying
been
is-
shit in the Prem.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
He
If-
hasn't lived
but
up to expectations.
If
in the
he
Prem.
goes to Madrid and he performs the way people
then he's
deem him
performed
to
at Madrid.
and then that's what I'm saying.
That's
Though,
it.
but people come back to his career like this, like you said, and say that this was a
Blitz
blip.
people, fam. I care about people.
Okay. So getting back to the Pep thing, what's Pep's record been like in the Champions League since he
Bro,
left Barca?
Who?
Just answer the
Fergie
question.
and these men are
Just answer the
elite
question.
managers. These guys are elite. Fergie's got what, 2 Champions Leagues in how many years he was at Man United? 2 decades, and you're calling Pep a fraud. Hasn't
I
even
didn't
been
even
a
utter
Pep
the
hasn't
word
even
fraud.
been a manager.
I didn't even utter
for
the
like
word
18
fraud.
years.
Hey, you
I
know-
just asked you a
you know when
simple
Fe-
question.
you know the fact-
What's Pep's
you know the
record
fact that
been
Fuad-
like since he left?
The fact that
Okay, I'll go
Fuad
Google
hasn't
it for
shown.
you. He's won 2.
Since he left
That's
Barca.
amazing. No. All over his career, he's won 2.
I'm just talking since he's left Barca. He said.
What's every
I
other
said- I
manager's
said
record
Pep's
since they
legacy is
last won the
tainted
Champions League?
in the Champions League?
What's every other manager's record since they've left
Forget
the club
every
that
other
they won the
record. We're
Champions
talking
League?
about Pep in specific.
Why are you putting Pep on a different level to other managers?
Because
that are
that's the
great?
standard he set.
So he's standard better
He
than
set
Fergie.
a high standard when he
He-
was there
he
with
set a
Barca.
standard better
And
than
guess what
Fergie.
else? No
Oh
other
my-
managers had the funds that he's had.
Oh my God.
No other manager.
spends
No,
P.
we've
No
got-
one
let's
spends
go
No
through
other
T. Brown.
manager. We've been here before.
T Brown.
No,
Who
no
do-
one
We've been here
spends money.
before.
T Brown. What club do you cover the most?
What club?
yeah.
Every club, bro.
Every club.
I'm a
Do you-
Brighton fan.
You're a Brighton fan.
I was pissed when my guy Houghton left.
I can't even take it.
Why guys laughing?
Listen.
It's true.
Tell me, we talked about the effects of Eriksen leaving Spurs. What's happening with Hazard and Chelsea?
Well,
How's that looking?
Let's look at
Very bleak.
Chelsea.
Huh?
in a
Very
global view.
bleak.
Let's look at the global view. So, best player left, correct? No transfer. We've always gone about this.
Yeah.
Sarri looks like it's confirmed now.
Yeah, it's gone to
And-
Juve today, isn't it?
And Lampard is looking a lot closer. What are people's opinions on that?
Boy,
You want me to go
boy,
first?
I don't think Lampard's the one. Put it that way. It's
I
similar.
agree still.
It's a nostalgia thing where I think everyone's seeing the likes of Ollie's been hired and all these other Pep how he started. They all see these former players and they want to give him a chance. But for me, too early, too soon. I mean,
It's one season, right?
it's one season at
season.
Derby. I don't think he's ready for it. And the pressure that is at Chelsea, like the standard at Chelsea is to win every season, no matter what. Even in your down years, you must win some form of silverware. And
Facts.
Is Lampard ready to tarnish his legacy in a way to have that chance? I'm not sure. For him, I wouldn't suggest the move. I don't think Chelsea should.
I don't know how I feel about this one. I'm conflicted a lot, because if you look at the last time we brought in a young manager, like a really young manager, right, was Villas-Boas.
Yeah.
He was probably 36, if I remember correctly. This is someone that had a little bit of experience. He came in, tried to play a specific style of football.
Yeah.
The issue he had was the experienced heads in the team then was so experienced and so used to winning, and they were dogs. And it's like, you can't tell me what to do. You're not even like you're my age mate.
Yeah.
And
No, but he worked under them. Don't forget that.
Huh?
He was part of the coaching staff with Jose.
Exactly. So yeah,
when Jose was
however,
there.
the thing is with the Lampard one, it will be a fact where this is someone, again, very young, fairly inexperienced, but there's no one in that changing room. The only person that could probably even say something is probably Pedro, and Pedro wouldn't do that. Pedro's won everything, but there's no player that can really talk or say anything to Lampard.
Yeah.
Because he's been there, he's done it. I'm not comparing Lampard to Guardiola and whatnot, because their circumstances are different. You've been coaching, you've been within a system where you're walking into a team that can do anything. Because I mean, Pep only coached Barcelona for one season before he took over the realm.
Yeah.
Zidane, same thing. So they only had 1 year experience, but
that's a one-off. Though. You can't use those.
That's
things.
what I think.
That's what I just said. I
they're
can't relate
one-offs.
those. And the thing is, you can't call it one-off if it's two people that have done it.
Nah,
but
it is.
if
Two people in what, like 50 years?
You said one-off in terms, but like I said,
that's a one-off, brother. So we could say that Leicester won the league. That's not a one-off.
Now I
no?
know why the pieces are sketchy. Man, relax, relax. Before you even jumped.
That's crazy.
What did I say?
No, but I hear what you're saying about the circumstance thing,
You
because
can't compare it.
what they've walked into at Barca is a ready-made formula of what's been working.
And Lampard is
then at
walking into
Madrid,
a situation where
Galacticos essentially,
Exactly.
and Chelsea. You look at it
you're
now.
walking into a position where, like,
Your best player's gone, and
yeah,
you've
your
got
best, like your players. It's like skin and bones. Like if we're being honest, it's skin and bones. You can't bring anyone in.
nope, transfer ban. You got Captain America coming in.
Peter Parker.
Save the day.
Peter Parker. Man will take Instagram fix after, but I'm conflicted on it. I can see the thinking behind it, but I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't know.
He's not ready, man.
He's not going to get it back in. He's not going to get. I don't know if he's going to get back in for
How
the club.
can you get
I can't
back
remember
in when you got no transfer?
I can't remember. I can't remember.
That's the
big one.
That's
But
the
thing is,
crazy thing
even
for
if
me.
Lampard had a transfer kitty, right? At Derby, he didn't. He had to do loan players and whatnot. It goes back to the thing about I can't say that Lampard, if he has a transfer, he's going to do
It's
well.
the same thing we said
Same thing I
about
said about
Oli.
Oli.
Yeah,
Like, I've not seen
the
him
same
perform in the
thing.
market.
Spot on. Can you actually attract these players? Can you? And the thing for me is, it's what you just said just there, just a transfer ban. You're giving someone who's inexperienced the double difficulty of not only just having a bad squad, but then you can't
bring
improve
anyone
it
in.
on top of that. And
Can't
it's
bring
like,
anyone in.
I get he's worked with maybe a worse standard of players in the Championship, but
this is the
And
Premier
what
League.
were the
this is the
results?
Premier League.
What were the results when he worked in the Championship?
He didn't. He didn't.
I don't
manage to
see
get moved
promotion,
down.
bro.
And the
didn't
thing
get
is,
moved
I didn't see him get promotion. But
Yeah.
Aston Villa got
No
that, so
promotion,
it
bruv.
wasn't even like you didn't even finish the job.
Yeah.
So for me, it's a
Objective wasn't even
big
complete.
gamble. I
The thing
think
is, he's not going to get
Chelsea-
backed.
Chelsea are looking at it with rose-tinted glasses.
Not ready for Chelsea,
Then
man.
no,
I
not
think
ready.
the
Not
best way
yet,
to break
man.
down is if you look at the last few Chelsea managers, which Chelsea managers were fully backed. Like I remember when Mourinho came back and he
Yeah.
made his free signings. That was a
That was,
backing.
yeah.
Sarri backed. It was like,
No.
you know what, we'll give you one of your
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
You can work around it. Who's been backed?
No one.
No
This
one
is it.
really.
But
So
Lampard
Really
would get
and truly,
backed. If
no one.
Lampard, if they
Backed
never
with
had a
what?
ban, he would got backed.
Yeah, but
They
they
would
have a
back him
ban
with
and they want to
money.
bring him in.
Huh?
They have the only backing he would get is that if things were going really badly, they won't sack him.
Yeah.
That's his backing.
That's what I think. I
He
think
should've
they
come
just
in,
give him an
man.
extended lease of
Me
life. But that's
personally-
no good because all you're doing is then giving him more room to fuck up in a sense. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
You got to look at the root of these things. I think and this is why going back to United, when United brought Oli in, I don't think it was because he's going to be the future club. I think it was because we need something in
that
to
represents.
exactly and to make a rapid change. And then it turned into a thing where this is working well. Let's make it long term. I don't know what the key thing of bringing Lampard is for.
Yeah.
Are you bringing him in
For
to
the
because
fans, man. To keep fans
That's
happy.
what I think. I think
but
it's
that's
more
not
to
you
keep fans
can't do
happy side.
you can't do that. You can't bring in someone to keep the fans happy and then jeopardize everything. You got to make logical decisions. That's
Yeah.
not how business works. Not in the Premier League. You can't do stuff like that.
See, just
Like-
thinking on the squad as well, do you think there's any loan players that could come back and stake a claim in that team? Because there's a few that have been away, done well.
Reece James, that's it.
Reece James
He's
the only
injured.
one.
Reece James
Yeah,
injured
you've
for a
got
few
Reece
months.
Mount,
Zuma would argue that with a
Zuma, yeah,
preseason
sorry, I
he could
forgot
do
about him.
something.
Bakayoko.
Bakayoko could do
had-
something in the squad.
Bakayoko
still.
had a good
I
season.
think
Decent player,
he
bro.
can
He's
give good
decent.
depth.
The thing is,
Batshuayi, Morata.
what you have to remember is
Don't
we don't
make me
we don't know we don't know.
Don't throw out. I might just say Janssen then. Janssen.
Cool.
Janssen.
Okay.
We don't know who's the manager. Who the manager's going to be. We don't know what
Yeah.
the system's going to be. Like you could get something where you get someone that comes and plays a 4-2-3-1. It's like, you know what, I want Kante and Bakayoko. Bakayoko could be fine there. He's got Kante.
Yeah.
We don't know
I
what's
think
going to
that'll be
happen.
one interesting
Same
thing.
way how you know how Barkley's playing at the moment and whatnot.
Yeah.
You all have people that argue that and say that, you know what, if Mason Mount came in, he could probably do what Barkley's been
Barkley
doing.
is
in
doing.
Barkley needs to be
100%.
out of the
So-
Chelsea squad immediately.
If we're looking at
What
it,
was that, sir?
Barkley must be out of the Chelsea squad
Listen,
immediately.
he's still getting selected for England.
He must be out of that team. I will take Mason Mount starting over him any day. of the
so
week.
already
He
we
brings
said
nothing to
3
the
or 4.
table.
Yeah.
In terms of your strikers, again, depending on who comes in, you have this whole debate about, do I go with the experienced Giroud, or do I go with the experienced Giroud with someone next to him, or do I try and give someone
Tammy Abraham.
Like Tammy Abraham's come out and said that, you know what, he wants to be playing for Chelsea. Like,
I think
I don't know.
I think this
I don't know.
is Chelsea's probably first chance since Abramovich took over to actually give youth a chance, in a sense. I know they've probably been forced into it, but give some of these, the Mason Mounts, Tammy Abraham and Reece
How's
James.
Chelsea not giving people a chance?
What youth? Like bled youngsters from the academy.
So they're supposed to play people that are not good enough.
No.
That's what
I
Chelsea's
never
supposed
said
to
that.
do.
I said blood youth.
Tell me any of the Chelsea young players that are
Tell him.
that
How are you
playing
about to
for
twist
top,
my words?
for top clubs.
I
in
never
Europe.
said
Tell
that.
me,
I never
just-
said there were any.
Because
But
Solanke
none
from
have
Liverpool,
even
now
been
he's at
given.
Bournemouth on
None
bench.
were even given a chance, is what I'm saying. to
Solanke
you.
wasn't given a
None
chance. So
were-
why are you not getting on to
Loftus-Cheek
Liverpool
is
for
probably
not
the
giving him
only
a chance?
player
then?
who I've seen come close
no,
enough to be in and around.
Loftus-Cheek,
my
Loftus-Cheek, Christensen. Like, the
Christensen's
thing
been
is,
given a chance.
Yeah, I get it.
the-
And
I'm
he hasn't-
saying
he hasn't
this
shown
is
enough
the
to
first
start.
time where you're probably going to
He
be
hasn't-
forced into using these
Christensen's
kids.
been in the
but
squad for 2
again,
You
years.
haven't had
this
to
is-
before.
this
You
is a
just splashed
separate
the
debate.
cash.
No, this is a
Now
separate
you
debate.
have
hasn't
to.
proven
This is a
himself.
separate debate, though. Should you be forced into playing your youth, or should you play them if they're good enough?
Thank you.
Shouldn't-
Play them. They're
shouldn't
good
just
enough.
Play them.
You're not in a situation as your starting lineup that good that these kids can't get in at.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Right now,
General.
that's what
I'm
I'm
saying
saying.
the
But that's
starting
what I'm
lineup.
saying. I'm saying
There's players in
not
the
even
starting
starting
lineup
lineup.
now
I'm
that are
saying
way
in the
better than
That's
squad
the
not
right
young
forcing.
now.
That's utilizing. We have to
Spot on.
we have to
So I'm
utilize
saying
what
this
our
coming
resources.
There's
season
players
when
in
you've
the
got the
starting
transfer
lineup that are
ban
better than the young
and
players.
we've just said the squad is absolute trash. Why would you not incorporate?
not
No.
trash,
Why
it's
are
not-
you
it's
changing
not
what I'm
trash.
saying? I didn't
It's
say
not
that.
trash.
I never said that.
It's not trash. It's not
Why
trash.
would I?
It's not
Why
trash.
would I
don't
be
do it.
hurt when I
not
asked for
trash
Brighton,
squad.
bro?
It's
Like,
semi-decent.
we're still in the Prem.
This
We
guy
stayed
was
up.
Brighton.
Who's what? Not, is Knockout your favorite
Anthony
player?
Knockout, yeah.
No. Glenn Murray, bro. He's a baller.
Or 10 Prem goals this season. This guy's a...
Bro, he scores goals.
Listen,
You say 10 goals this
We're
season?
talking- yeah.
I swear Lacazette's got like 11.
Ooh, you saying Glenn Murray's better
But
than
he's top
Lacazette?
quality, but Glenn Murray. No, I'm just joking.
T-Brown
I'm joking.
exclusive.
No, I'm joking.
Hot take. Hot take.
Lacazzette's
Let's
better
keep
than
rolling.
Murray, man. I'm joking.
So it happened. Kamikado official has left.
Comunicado oficial.
I can't lie, I'm still broken. It's still hurting. But you mentioned a host of players that Madrid have in terms of those attacking positions.
Yeah.
There's a name you didn't mention.
Bale.
Indeed.
The big B.
Indeed.
Bad B.
What happens?
he's fucked now.
Hey, T Brown, I won't lie. I saw a little exclusive. It wasn't yours, but I saw an exclusive that
What,
said
where did you
that.
see on Sky Sports? I've been writing on there as well. Check me out.
So, no, you're credited now, yeah.
Get
Yeah,
leveling
bro, I'm
up.
all over the place, man. Talk sport
I
as
see
well.
rumors about Bayern being interested
I heard that
In
as
who?
well.
In Bell?
in G-Biz, yeah.
Oh, I saw that, but I think it's a myth still.
Is that
My insiders
time.
told me, but still, that is a myth.
mad thing?
I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Bayern, PSG
They need wingers.
are probably the only clubs that could save him.
Bayern don't want to pay the
financially.
wages.
You know what?
Bayern don't want to deal with the wages.
What you've
PSG
just,
don't
what
wanna
you've
pay
just
the
said
fee.
now, I think you've summed it up. No one's buying him. If anyone buys Gareth Bale, they're trying to save him. They're trying to do him a favor.
Yeah. And
What's
it's
gone
only
wrong with him?
Huh?
Like, what's gone wrong with him? Why does
Injuries.
no one want him?
injuries.
It's a thing
Injuries
where
and a massive wage packet. No one's going to take that gamble. And
I think
especially Madrid are going to
it's
try and
been.
want to
I'll be
recoup
honest.
some of
I'll
that
be
money.
honest. It's been
He
the
was
way
kinda
he's
fit
tainted.
last season,
No,
bro.
I'll be honest. It's been the way he's been tainted. It's a thing where if you're at Madrid, right, and there's constant bad press about you, it's a little bit like Ozil.
It's like politics.
It's like Ozil. Think about it.
Yeah.
Since when Ozil left,
All
like
of a sudden
he's
he was made
he's
to
got
look
this
like-
stigma.
yeah.
You don't, if you get pushed out of Madrid, I can't remember the last person that got pushed out. And
Sanchez. No, sorry, my bad.
I remember
18
Robin.
Briz. What's going on here?
I was buzzing still. I was too quick on the trigger there.
But you can name a lot of superstars that have been pushed
yeah.
out Madrid, and they all have this kind of like
Something about them.
and that's why we had a conversation in the group
Also,
chat.
they were saying he couldn't finish 90-minute games.
Yeah.
And
We had a conversation where I said that they won't do that to Hazard. They probably will. I was chatting rubbish.
at some
They
point,
will.
yeah.
They will.
Listen,
From when they were screaming we want Mbappe at his presentation,
Bro.
listen, if he doesn't perform next year,
He's in
6
trouble.
months,
Still, if
he's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
He don't
If he
perform,
don't
he's
stop
in trouble.
performing.
so
But
what? G-Biz, what?
The only other avenue I could possibly see is
MLS?
Not even MLS. Spurs doing some dumb loan deal for like I don't know.
It won't benefit
stop
you guys.
talking about
Listen,
Spurs and
I
top quality
said last
players.
year, this
Spurs
is what we
don't
need to
sign top
open the
quality
stadium.
players.
Listen,
Don't-
this is the
Spurs
kind
buy
of
young
signing
players
Spurs
only.
need to push them over the edge. I think
Push
if
you
they
over
got
the
him on
edge.
loan, give him a chance to prove his fitness.
Is a loan signing pushing you over the edge?
No, a loan to with a view to
Hold
permanent.
on. Let's ask him the question. You said what's Bell gonna push Spurs over to what edge? Winning Premier
Winning
Leagues and Champions Leagues?
titles.
Premier League, not Carabao.
Winning titles. Winning
talking about
titles.
Prem.
Yes.
So a Prem or a Champions
I'm
League.
talking,
So
I'm
Gareth Bale's
talking,
gonna win
I'm
Spurs,
talking. If that Champions League final we had a Gareth Bale alongside
But you had
Kane,
Harry Kane.
alongside Harry Kane, yeah. We
No, it's
would've been
alongside.
on a
You're saying,
madness.
alright, so hold on. You're trying to tell me Spurs are gonna challenge. Hold on, I can't even say it.
God,
Spurs,
let me hear this.
Spurs are gonna win the Prem or a Champions League if
Spurs
Gareth
will be
Bale's in
challenging for
squad.
the Prem if we bring in Gareth
Gareth
Bale.
Bale.
I'm not talking about finishing third.
Challenging
We
talking
will be
about-
challenging for the Premier
So
League
how many
if
points
Gareth
off
Bale
is
comes.
challenging?
I
What
don't
is-
know about that.
Mace,
but
what would
we're
you
in
say?
the
How many
mix.
points off is
We're in the
challenging?
mix. Put it that way. We're in the
So
mix.
A challenge is
with Dyer in the middle of the park. You guys are challenging.
Transfer
And
window
skip.
done. We've just got
I'm
some
just
money.
but you're
No, okay,
saying
no, no.
as squad is now.
Let's
you're
stay
saying
here.
Gareth
Let's
Bale
stay.
as
No,
Let's
I
stay
no,
here.
I never
You
said
didn't
that's
say
the
Let's
that.
squad
stay
is
here.
now.
Make it clear.
Let's
The
stay
people
here.
wanna
Let's
know.
stay here. Let's stay here.
The people don't know.
You talked about centre mids, right?
Yeah.
So far, this links well into United. Actually, I've seen you going for Celoso. They want his clause is 88. You've offered probably about 50. They want 70. I've seen you going for the French youngster.
And Dombele.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're trying to haggle you as well.
Everyone.
Are we seeing now that the whole thing about Spurs not having money? Teams are saying that okay, well you've probably saved a bit now. You have to. Are you gonna have to pay over the odds for players now?
I think that's in general with all Premier League
That's
teams
world
in general.
football, man.
No, but in general,
Yeah.
do you think teams are gonna make it specifically hard for Spurs to sign players?
Depends how desperate we come across. To be honest, I mean we haven't made any signings. We need to freshen up.
You
the
need
squad.
to make signings. You've not spent for 2 windows.
Are doing it, but I think it happens with all Premier League.
Will you get a
teams.
centre mid
Since
in?
we had the TV deal, I think every Premier League team gets held
Will you,
ransom.
will you get one in?
Wan-Bissaka's
Yeah,
being
true.
held at what 70, 80 million.
Will you get a centre mid in though?
We
Because
better.
these
We
prices
need
are
one. Like
crazy.
I've said, the only ones I'm really interested in is Van der Beek, Tielemans, and Ndombele.
So what you're telling me,
Lo
Tielemans.
Celso, I'm not sure
Van
about
der
that
Beek's a
70 mil.
baller still.
So
Top player. Van der Beek's a
So
top
hot
Van der
take.
Beek, I think is
Hot take. Tielemans, Gareth Bale, alongside Harry Kane, Champions League.
Listen.
I want to hear it
Silverware.
now. Here. You know why he's saying that? Because it's unrealistic. It's not going to happen. So
What's
when he-
unrealistic?
when
How
we-
is that
when they don't win
unrealistic?
nothing, he's gonna
How
say,
is that
"I said this,
unrealistic?
we had Bale and we had
Please,
this guy,
you
that
just
guy."
said it's unrealistic. How
Huh?
is that unrealistic?
Because you know it's not going to happen.
How do I know that?
Daniel Levy
How
don't
do
like
I know-
spending P.
You mean Van der
True.
Beek, who they're asking 40
No, I
million
didn't
for?
say Van der Beek.
Tielemans.
Bro,
Who?
this guy, man.
What,
No,
Bale?
the ones that
You're
you
still
put
going
bids
on
in,
about
the
Bale?
ones
You
you
said
put bids
all
in
the
for.
selection of the players you said.
Yeah.
You know Spurs ain't going to get all of them.
Why?
You
Why
know that.
not? I said those are the players I want. I never said we're getting them.
Okay, but the two
So
you
they're
bid
the ones I
for,
want.
the two you bid for,
Ndombele and Lo Celso.
yeah.
Lo Celso's not worth 70 million, no matter how many goals you score. And I'm sorry, but weren't he rotten on the PSG reserves 2 years ago?
So if-
One season don't cut it for me. Don't make you worth 70
But
million.
that's who you're
True,
bidding
true.
for.
I agree
That's
with you.
not the
still.
levels.
No,
No,
it's
you
true.
can't
but
be
that's
bidding
who-
Guess
people
what?
one
That
season.
is- if we're doing that, that's just another Lamella I can see happening.
That's
We're
true, but
Overspending
this is
on
who
a
you're
player
bidding
who
for.
we're hoping turns out to be good.
Exactly, but that, again,
Hey,
this
ain't that the
is who your
Spurs
team's
way?
What?
Don't you lot buy players and hope they're going to be good? Don't you lot do that all the time?
Well, yeah.
I saw this morning.
That's the stature of our club. We're not in a position like United to go out and spend 70, 80 million on a single player.
Hold on, can I ask you a question? I read this morning that Danny Rose wants to leave, and you lot want to.
No. You never read that. You read a rumor that said he might want to leave, and that we might be getting
alright,
Sessignon on as a
I read-
replacement. You
okay.
sent me the
I
screenshot.
wrote. I said just, I don't have your number, so I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that's what they will say.
I don't have your number, bro. I read something this morning that said that Danny Rose wanted to be out and you lot wanted to replace him with Sessignon. I just want to know is why do Spurs keep replacing players and then keep saying about the future and this project? Are you ever going to reach this project if
What
you always
future?
sell players when they get good? When they
What do you
get
mean?
good
Danny
and they become
Rose.
established, if you keep selling people when they get established and then bringing in someone young like Sessegnon, you're never, ever, ever going to get to that stage.
So
where
who
you're
would you
winning
suggest we
trophies.
bring in if Danny Rose left?
No, I'm not saying that, bro.
You're saying that you shouldn't. Danny Rose shouldn't be leaving. Is what they're saying.
As a Spurs fan, are you happy with that?
We just established this earlier, where if a player is not winning for a certain number of years and he's hit the prime of his career, I don't blame him for leaving.
So it goes
but
back
I'm
to
saying
why
Spurs Football Club,
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspurs.
Yeah,
As a Tottenham Hotspurs fan,
yeah.
are you happy that every single time your players get established and
They
they're at
start-
the
they're
level
not
where
leaving.
now
If
they're
we're not
conquering-
winning, I don't
I
blame
can't
them
even
for leaving.
finish
Because
You
I know
won't
what you're
even let
getting
me
at. I
finish.
know what you're getting at.
What am I getting at? Go
You're
on, man.
trying to
reader.
say basically, why do we use youngsters to replace ready-made players? The last time Modric left, we replaced him with Christian Eriksen.
And
Not
now
a
he's-
bad change.
Now he's
And now he's
established, he wants
leaving.
to
Now
move.
he's about to leave. We'll
So
get the
who-
next one in.
So
when is
ha-
this
wait,
project
no,
ever
wait,
gonna
Spurs have
come to
constantly
fruition?
shown. Do you remember when Kyle Walker left? Trippier came in.
And what did
Nobody
you
was
win?
complaining.
What
This
did
is
you
the thing,
win?
Yeah, you're
And this
doing
is
it.
what we
but
You
it's-
keep talking to me about finishing third, fourth,
How are we supposed
and
to
then
win
one
when we're
European
not spending
final,
anything?
and now you're happy.
So how are we supposed to win anything when we're not spending?
Okay, so it goes back to what I
I'm
asked you a
saying
few
is,
weeks
why
ago.
don't you
If you
keep your
spend,
best
So
players
you
and
want
spend.
Spurs to
So
spend
add.
70 million on every
I
player,
want Spurs-
and because you spend money, that guarantees you
I
titles.
want to be quoted
That's what
saying
you're
this.
saying.
I want to be quoted saying this. This is Tyson Brown quote. I want Spurs to keep a hold of all their established players, the Kanes, all these guys, Eriksons, all these brothers, Roses,
And if they
all
wanna
these
leave?
guys. I want them to keep a hold of them and add to the squad. I don't see Spurs
You
ever
can't hold
reaching
a man
their
by
project.
ransom. You can't hold a man by ransom.
Back
If
to
he
your
wants
point.
to leave your club,
back to your point. Then. So what you're saying is, if you guys spend, you should win.
we should be competing 100%. There's
No,
no,
no, I
win.
wanna hear
Like,
about
you
winning.
lot- you
It's
lot
win.
gotta
It's
stop
not about
this
hear
shit.
about
Because
winning.
if Chelsea now spend, are you expected to win
Yes.
every trophy?
Why are you
Yes.
talking about
Every
Chelsea?
trophy.
When Jose
don't
came
care
back,
about
I wanted to win
Chelsea.
everything.
That's a dumb
When we
mindset.
signed
Why
Costa,
are you
I
talking
wanted
about
to
Chelsea?
win
I don't care
everything.
about Chelsea.
You cannot expect to win anything when you're.
So
Tottenham
when Man United
Hotspurs.
spent all that
I'm
money
sorry.
with Jose,
That's
didn't they
just the
expect
facts
to
of it.
win? That's the
You're
expectancy when
actually
you spend money.
sitting here at the start of the season telling me you expect Tottenham
Okay,
to
so
win
when
the
you got to
Premier
the
League.
Champions League final,
If you spend money,
What do
I
you
expect you to win.
You're gonna say at the end of the season you go down the bookies and put money on Spurs winning
I'm
the
not
league.
putting money on
There
Spurs.
you
I'm
go
saying that,
then.
but I
There
expect you
go.
to win.
That's exactly my point.
I expect you to win. If you spend money, I
and
expect
no
you
no
to
other
win.
team is gonna spend and
So if
improve.
you don't get Bell,
So
like
no other
Van der
team.
Beek, Tillman, these guys that you wanted, Dombele, you get them four.
We
you don't
better be
expect
challenging.
Spurs to win.
We better be challenging.
You
Yeah,
don't expect them to win.
I don't expect nothing. I'm a
Well,
Spurs
Okay,
fan.
but this season,
When
season
you're
you
a
challenged-
Spurs fan, you learn
No,
to
but
not
this season
expect
you
anything.
challenged
That's
for
why you don't
what,
win
a few
nothing.
weeks.
We challenged for the title till Christmas, and then we fell off. And then we got to a Champions League final, we fell off. Next. Like,
mentioned-
you got to remember, Tottenham have spent nothing this season, and we've done that.
We keep
And-
going
and-
back
and-
to
It's not
this.
an
That's what I'm
achievement.
saying. So look, no, but this
There's
is
no
what-
trophy. You want the
based on-
Emirates
based
Cup?
on your
Is that what
logic.
you want?
based on your logic, you spent nothing and you got this for. So if you spend something, you should be able to cross the
should
line.
be able
No.
to- Voila.
I
the
expect
point
you
I've
to
been
cross
getting
the
to
line.
this whole time.
I expect you to cross the line. Not that you should. I expect you to cross the line.
Okay.
When Abramovich came to Chelsea, everyone expected Chelsea to start winning trophies.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Am I wrong?
Yeah. And
And
where
what
did
did they
Ranieri
do?
finish?
What did they do?
Where did Ranieri finish?
Why did he get the sack?
Where did Ranieri
We're
finish?
not talking about him like we're talking about
You
Poch.
just
He got
said when,
sacked.
when money is
He's
spent,
gone.
you should win. But Ranieri
Gone.
finished second.
But Ranieri got sacked.
Exactly. So
And
let
then
us spend,
Jose came
so let us
and
spend
won.
some money. If we finish second, it's our Ranieri year.
All right, so
What, you
so
gonna sack
Poch
Poch?
get sacked.
You said Poch.
If it must be done, it must be done. if that's the way you'd win, innit? You'd sack Poch
No,
if
I'm
you never
saying
won.
it's not
about
That's
T.
what,
Brown,
no,
it's
no,
about
no.
you.
But that's what you'd probably do,
But it's
right?
about you.
Who's you? You pointing at me?
Yeah. So if we spent this year and Poch never won, end of the year, would you sack him?
If you spent, no, I wouldn't. I would give Poch one more year, give him another chance.
It's all right. T. Brown.
I have to say Poch has to go straight away. I didn't say nothing about Poch going.
But
I
you
didn't say
expected
that.
us to win.
Huh?
But you expect us to win if we.
So
if
every
we,
time someone's expected to win and they lose, like they're supposed to be sacked. So Liverpool they spent money this summer, didn't win the Premier League. So what?
I'm
Klopp
not
should be
saying
sacked?
that. That's what you're
So
saying.
Klopp, I didn't say that.
I'm just going off what you're
Where
saying.
did I say? Maze, did I say that?
Listen, next topic, man.
No,
Wan-Bissaka, Man United. Should he be going? Is it too early?
Way too early. Way too
early.
early. I mean, he's only had one full season of football at Crystal Palace. Like, let's remember, United are saying they're tired of wingers playing at fullback because of Valencia and Young. Let's remember Wan-Bissaka 2 years ago
He was a winger.
Like,
The thing
let's
is,
relax.
people don't need the research. They won't know.
Let's have another season of solid football. I mean, I can name you 3 right backs right now that are available and are probably cheaper than him.
Who? I know you're saying
Joao
Rooney, yeah?
Cancelo
You say
at
Rooney, yeah?
Juve.
Where's Cancelo's tips for me?
Well, he's tipped to go City.
Yeah,
Or either
so-
way, it's 50 million from what I'm hearing.
So let's say
He's
that's
like-
so that's one down.
That's
If
one.
he goes,
He's at Napoli.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
been brilliant for the last 3-4 years. And
Yeah.
Mazraoui, if you want to go for a young option at Ajax, who's had a wicked Champions League campaign. And if you're talking about one season Wan-Bissaka's had. This kid has won the league in his league and then had a good Champions League campaign as well. So he's actually got European experience, which Wan-Bissaka doesn't. So it's a case of if you're willing to go young, go Mazraoui. If you want experience proven, Cancelo, his side. They're both cheaper options as well and better.
I think the issue United have though is with buying anyone now, they run the risk that if they don't go in, the thing is they can't go for like the top of the top.
Nah,
they can't. They can't.
For me, they've
Why
lost
can't they
their
go for the
class.
top of the top? They're Man United.
But this is the issue. I tell you
They're-
what.
they're
Let me
Man United.
let me
They
sum up.
They
Let
got
me
Pogba when they wasn't even in the Champions League.
let me
That's
sum
Man
up.
United.
I can sum up Chelsea United very easily, right? When you start losing Madrid just come and just start trying to lure your top players like it's nothing, and your top players are dancing. Yeah, the law of your club isn't the same
100%.
anymore. From when Rashford is demanding 300 racks from United is not the
Boy,
same
I saw
United
that
anymore.
today. 350k he's asking
That's
for.
extortion.
Yeah.
man.
See,
You mad?
But
Bro,
Man United can get players if they want to.
When
though.
you hear
Let's have
Martial's
respect.
getting 250,
it's
for
not
doing
that
nothing.
they can go if United went head to head with the likes of like your Juve, your Barcelona, your Madrid, and what. There was a time where if United, Barcelona, and Madrid went for the same player, like
But United went head to head with Sanchez, and they got Sanchez with Man City.
yeah, but they broke the bank to get Sanchez.
That's what I'm saying. They get bumped. I'm not saying they get bumped
Yeah,
all the time.
But, but that's the thing. I
bumped
think,
FC.
that,
I think
and that goes to the one, and that goes to Wan-Bissaka point.
Wan-Bissaka thing.
How
They've
much
been
are
getting
they saying for
bumped now for the
Wan-Bissaka?
last 6-7
They're saying
years.
50, 60 mil for
But
someone.
they
that
want
was a
Man
winger
United want
playing
an
right
English course still. If you see what they're trying to do, they want to do it the United way. They want to get all these young English players.
back. Isn't there a youth as well? So why don't they use some of the youngsters?
Why don't they promote their youth? But if it
I
was
was going to
Chelsea,
say,
Chelsea
haven't they
don't
got the
promote youth.
heritage that they've been bragging about for 20 years of producing players. But the last decent one I saw
Cam's head is going
was
to
what?
fry when he's
Welbeck.
if Cam was here, he would say,
Makeda. That was the standard.
I'm doing it for Cam.
Listen, for me, Wan-Bissaka, he's a good player. But I think give him another year at least before.
Would he be good for Spurs?
What? Actually, I've got a question.
Decent. I'd actually take him at Spurs.
How about,
he's an upgrade on Trippier.
Loser
Anything's an
mentality.
upgrade on Trippier. To be
If
honest.
Loser
if
mentality.
Trent was at Palace
Yeah.
and United were going after him, was it the same conversation?
Trent is a two-time Champions League finalist.
No, but that's
now,
what I'm saying because he's
different.
within that setup. If Wan-Bissaka was playing for a top team, we wouldn't have this conversation.
Yeah,
after
well,
the
he would
season.
look different. You'll rate him higher. Like
We
you
wouldn't
rate
have
the
this
Ajax
conversation.
guy because he played in the Champions League. You're penalising him.
It's
'cause
not
he plays for
Wan-Bissaka's
Palace.
fault that he plays at Palace and he goes to goals in the weekend with the Mandem. Like
Yeah.
that's just
Listen,
that's
I
his
respect
situation.
it. I respect it, but it's a for me, it's just a different in class of pressure what you deal with.
No, but I
It's similar
understand
to
what
where
you're
No,
Zaha,
100%.
Yeah. I
Zaha
agree
when
with you
he
still.
initially was killing it at Palace,
Yeah.
went to United and it looked.
But
like
they
a
bought him
fish out of
when he was
water.
Championship.
I've got a hot take on
Yeah, that was
Zaha.
they were in
That's
Championship
why.
that time.
Yeah, you're buying.
I've got a
Championship
hot
players, you
take on
want them
Zaha. I
to
think Zaha he's hindered himself
How do you mean?
because he should never sign that bumper deal because now he
Now
can't
they're
go
asking
anywhere.
for ransom money.
Can't go
innit?
anywhere.
And the thing is,
Who is giving
keeps dropping
Palace?
it. I'm an Arsenal fan.
No,
It's
but-
like, no one cares, bruv.
No,
Shut
but
up.
who? When was the last time a player was bought for more than, let me say, 55 million for a team that was in the top 4 team? I can't remember a time.
What? 55 million for a top 14?
For a player that's not in the top 4 team. When was the last time anyone ever saw it happen? I can't recall any moment.
Yeah,
I can't.
ages. I
All
can't-
players that get bought for big figures are usually in.
in the top 6 playing for the big teams. Yeah.
It's this TV deal, man. It's ruined everything, man.
It has. I kid
No,
you
so
not. I kid you not.
who would give Palace, say like, okay, Palace, what you finished 12th, okay, we'll give you 80 million.
No one.
This
No
is what
one's
the-
doing that.
there we
I'm
go.
sorry.
And that's
No
why I
one-
feel
no
like
one outside of the top 6 is doing
he's-
that.
he-
top
he-
5 actually. Spurs
yeah.
won't do it. Everyone else would do it.
Yeah.
No, Arsenal. Sorry, take that back as well. Arsenal won't do it. I forgot about them
man.
still.
cool.
The thing is,
Copper
don't forget,
started.
United also last season they had Dalot, who they signed for 20 million, and he actually looked half decent during spells last year.
Ain't he like a winger right back?
He's a right back.
He's a right back as well,
He's a right
but
back.
they've slapped him on the wing sometimes. But
Yeah.
I'm like, why not develop him and at least try
Listen,
and
man,
produce him?
Ollie's
but
at the wheel. That's all that matters. So to the point.
drink driving at the wheel. Let's carry on though.
So Copa America started.
Hey.
Messi's getting fists up already.
Getting licks.
Guys, you're so what?
Getting licks.
Rate Spurs,
Messi's
but
getting
then
fist
get
up
on to
already.
Messi.
Boy.
And there was a
Strange
conversation.
boy.
There was a conversation that was
Been
being had
telling
about the Nations League and whether it should. Does this count towards Ronaldo's legacy?
Yes.
And I'm actually infuriated now because people need to have respect.
Thank you. You see, you're one of the few people that
United,
actually...
the Nations League 100% counts, and I'm gonna say
as a major trophy.
it counts, and you know what? It counts more than the Copa America, and I'll tell you why.
Absolutely.
I do not understand how you have an international tournament, and you're inviting
Japan
and Qatar. No, wait, hold on.
Qatar.
The thing is, I thought I was bamboozled. I went to go and do some research. They invite a team from a different region every year. Every time they do it,
bro.
there's a team from CONCACAF there.
That's embarrassing.
For the next one, they want to invite they want to invite Australia and Qatar.
Nah, man.
So wait, you're telling me that because
we give stripes to that.
Because Messi will beat
Japan and Qatar.
He's not even done it yet. But if he manages to do it, man said if he completes Eurovision, it counts as something.
You guys,
but when Ronaldo was playing in something, Nations League, right? There's how many groups? England had to go past Spain and Croatia, right? All of these big nations, you know.
Glorified friendly.
Who is?
No. What it was?
Okay, so what's Copa America? What is Copa America?
It was
what is
designed.
Copa America?
Listen, Nations League was designed to make friendlies better, and it has. Guess
Copa
what?
America just
Every team,
Brazil,
every team in the Nations League is playing their first team. No weakened sides.
let me
all of them.
on, man.
And
Let
it's
me
only the
read it
top
out.
teams are playing against the top teams.
Let me read
the
it out.
dead teams are playing the dead
Let
teams.
me read it out.
So
Brazil,
people care about it like they care about
Brazil,
World Cup and Euros.
Bro,
Peru,
it's an elite competition.
Venezuela, Bolivia, Colombia, Paraguay, Qatar, Argentina, Chile, Ecuador, Japan.
So it's Messi's fault that he's from South America.
Listen,
So
it ain't
it's
his fault,
Ronaldo's fault
but
that they
you're
gave him a
supposed-
trophy for being the best.
I'm not saying Ronaldo ain't on crud. He's done madnesses. I'm saying is you guys are so disrespectful. Keep taking Messi's accolades away from him.
No,
It's
what
you.
accolades?
You
He
know
hasn't
what?
won
It's
it.
him.
He
It's
hasn't
him.
won it.
It's him.
He hasn't won it.
It's me.
My point is, right?
He has not
if
won the
he
Copa
wins
America.
if he wins it, they will say that, you know what, it counts as a major accolade.
If
Thank
Messi
you very
wins
much.
it,
Wait, hold on.
Thank you very much.
Because in his group, he has to play Qatar and Paraguay and Colombia. They've already lost to Colombia, you know. They might beat Qatar, get a draw, they'll go through, and then they might play Brazil in a semi and so on else.
So if he wins, it's the same as winning the
who did Ronaldo have
Euros.
to play? He had to play.
No, you don't even remember because I'm going to school you on why I don't.
Tell me you played.
This is why I rate Ronaldo. Don't get it wrong, yeah.
Yeah.
He's my guy, innit?
Yeah.
But Euros, people going over the top. Like
I'm
he
talking about
smoked it,
Nations
like he
League.
done a madness.
I'm talking about Nations League.
Nations League.
Did
Bro, come on,
Portugal?
it's like a friendly.
Bro,
That's some friendly shit,
are the
man.
caliber of teams in the Nations League?
It's like some friendly tournament, bro.
What's
How
Japan
are
and
you
Qatar?
defining that?
I'm classing Nations League like Community Shield.
Okay,
Like-
so what? Okay, wait. So wait.
Some glorified friendly.
In fact, you know what? You know what?
They're playing the main
Brown.
teams.
So you
and
don't
all
play the
fully
team that won the
strength
FA
sides.
Cup or won the league.
T Brown, you're a few years older than myself.
No, I'm
No,
not, bro.
yes you are. Yes
More
you
than a
are.
few years.
Do you remember the tournament
Seasoned
when England
Guys
played the
used to stop
Invitational? You must have probably been about 20 this time. I think it was like 1996. It was England, Brazil, Italy, and I can't remember the fourth country. You know when Roberto Carlos scored the kick? Remember that was an Invitational.
Intercontinental.
Did England win it?
Yeah.
Did
No.
England didn't win it. Who won it?
No. I swear Brazil won that. Or
Alright, cool.
France.
There was teams that were invited, right?
Yeah.
Cool. So you mean that's the equivalent of Copa America?
Literally, bro. Like,
No
it's
God-
a
no
friendly-
Why are we
that is a
blaming
friendly-
Messi for the organisers?
I'm not
Bro,
blaming.
what's
Who
this
blamed
got to
him?
do with
Now
Who
you're
Messi?
blaming
blamed
the
him?
European organisers for organising this
I'm
Nations
not
League.
blaming them. I'm
How
just
you not
saying
blaming
that
them?
The question
I'm
is-
not classing it with Euros and World Cup. I'm saying great for Ronaldo.
For me, it's
well
ahead
done.
of the Euros.
You've done well.
This Nations League is
Nations
ahead of the Euros. 100%.
It's a bigger tournament than the Euros.
Do you know why? The best
I need to talk to
teams
the
are playing
producer
the
about
best
removing
teams,
you.
bro.
You
The
must be
best
removed
teams are playing
from
the best
this thing.
teams. In the
Are
Euros,
you
you're playing who?
drunk?
Dog shit trash teams.
Nations League is more.
Euros.
Nations League.
They want to
is
expand the
better than
Euros. For what?
They
So they
shouldn't
can add the
expand it,
Faroe
but you're
Islands.
telling me-
So they can add Andorra.
So you're telling me
Man said-
Nations League is
Man
as
said
important
France
as the
versus
Euros?
Zagreb.
Nations League is the best teams versus the best, fully strength sides, and everybody has turned up.
You need
Everybody.
removing from
Did you
this
see?
panel.
Did you see how
You
excited
don't need to
England
be
were
on
getting
this.
when they got to the semis? They were treating it like it's a World Cup. So
No
why
one
shouldn't everyone
cared.
else?
Everyone's on holiday.
It's a big
Everyone's
competition.
on holiday now.
Who's on holiday?
Go
Every
360
big
TV,
player.
check them out. They're on holiday. No one cares, bro.
Madison and these men are on holiday. The real balls
Madison's
are
not on holiday.
Alright, cool. Wait, hold on.
Under 21s.
Hold on.
Under
Hold on.
21s,
Hold on. Hold on.
Marbella,
Hold
whatever
on.
you
Hold
doing,
on.
spraying
Okay.
bottles at old
No,
men.
so
Why are you
if-
being a hater, fam?
if-
Yo, Papa
if
hater.
everyone's on holiday, yeah, Does that mean that Argentina on holiday as well for getting spanked 3? Was it 3? Was it
2-0.
2-0. Colombia.
Against Colombia.
Talk to me.
Where's
your goal?
Are they on holiday as well?
Messi's not.
Where's your goal?
No, you're saying
it.
I'm not going on Messi. I'm not going on Messi.
on.
You're saying excuses.
Game, right? How many
Ronaldo made it through the
happened?
Euros on best loser, but we don't bring that up. He made it through his group when they won the Euros. Best loser, Portugal.
Now you're blaming Ronaldo.
I'm not
for the
blaming
format.
him.
Now you're blaming
But
Ronaldo for the format.
I'm not.
Ronaldo's fault.
I'm not blaming Ronaldo.
it's
But I'm
Ronaldo's
saying
fault.
is, why are we getting onto Messi after the first game? Like,
What do you mean?
We're getting on to
Messi,
the tournament.
rise.
The tournament.
That's what we're saying.
The
Big
tournament.
man,
Get eliminated.
rise in the big occasions.
them get
Especially
Alright, cool. Listen,
for your country.
if you're from Argentina and I tell you, listen, yeah, we're playing for, you know, the trophy that represents our region. Our second game's against Qatar and Bolivia. Will you take it seriously?
Come on.
Come on,
Answer.
I would.
Oh my God.
If I played for Argentina,
Qatar, you're playing
If I
Qatar.
played for Argentina,
You're playing
right
Qatar.
now, I will have my hand on the chest. With pride. I'll be trying to win that.
You
I'll
would
be
be
trying
laughing.
Why would I
You'd
be
waiting
laughing?
to go
That's
club
Copa
after
America.
the game? You'd be counting how many gal are waiting for you in the changing rooms.
No, I wouldn't.
You're not
So-
focused on the game.
So Copa
Qatar.
America
Qatar.
didn't solidify Sanchez as a Chile legend. Like he didn't
know
get
why?
that
Back
status
to
as an
back.
icon.
Nigga did that shit. Back to back.
So what?
But you see,
cool.
Messi bottled it. Back to back.
El Sheeb, Yusuf Hassan, Mohamed Al Bakri,
Okay, so
Abdul Karim Hassan.
I
ilaha.
saw
Roro.
a couple of nations means nothing
Billah.
then. As well, then we'll just say that then.
We're not
Because
inviting
there's
anyone.
Bare dead players
Listen,
in AFCON.
AFCON,
Bare dead players in
listen,
AFCON.
listen.
AFCON.
Listen,
AFCON's trash.
It's a tough tournament.
Just because
It's a-
Somalia
it's
don't
tough.
make it.
It's a
you
tough
know,
tournament.
no,
It's
we're
tough
trying to
tournament.
be a
No,
hater.
but
Why you? Why you?
listen,
what
if
you doing?
AFCON,
My team made it.
let me break
Nigeria.
it there. Let me break.
But they can't keep their homegrown talent.
Listen, if
Who, Nigeria?
Well, are you Nigerian now?
Yeah, I am, bro.
Okay. I'm
listen,
done.
if AFCON was going on, and I saw that Latvia and Estonia were invited, then I'll say, you know what, this is a joke. But it's
Taking it
not.
serious.
These men work
Take it
hard.
serious.
Bro, when
If you
you're
was a professional footballer,
inviting,
you wouldn't take it
like,
serious.
they're not
Okay,
even,
so
they're
if
not
you're
even
playing the
inviting
best teams in
prestige
Europe, you'll
countries.
take it serious.
I'm saying this. I'm taking it serious. Everyone's
Okay,
got
so
their
that
own
means
opinion.
on that logic, if you're playing the best teams in Europe,
Football's
you'll
about
take it.
opinions.
Football is a game of opinions. Listen, you ain't dropping that and getting away with it. Nah. Listen, Qatar and Japan are not even like worthy
They're
opposition.
not reputable
like,
brands.
They're not even like the Asian
That's
Cup
like-
winners or
not
It is.
Ocean
It
Asian.
is.
It's not.
Why are they
Listen,
invited?
Let's break
So
down.
Messi
Remember when
invited
it's
them.
charity?
Messi
It
invited
is.
them.
It's community shield.
Messi invited them.
Remember
So
when?
it's the Messi friendly, the Copa America.
Huh?
That's
it's-
oh.
It's the Messi
It's
friendly.
a major
If the
tournament.
Premier League,
It's not Messi's
remember when they
fault
said that the
your teams are
Celtics
whack.
should come to the Premier League? This is like bringing like Inverness,
Bro,
and Dundee
literally,
United.
Partick
Nah,
Thistle.
the Premier
Dundee
League.
alright
Partick
still.
Thistle.
Dundee alright.
Dundee United.
Nah, bro.
Queen Park.
Listen. How I feel like is South America have been like, you know what, it's been tough for Messi. He's lost every final. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make it one bit easier.
Have you
for him. We're
spoken
gonna
to them?
include Qatar. We're gonna call Japan, Messi. We're gonna put Qatar in your group. You
Fam.
better qualify.
So why didn't they do that for
Better-
Neymar?
And
Maybe
what
they did it
he
for
do?
Neymar.
First game.
Maybe they did it for
bottles
Neymar.
2-0.
Maybe they did it for
MIA.
Neymar.
Neymar's not there.
Barely any
Yeah, but
touches.
they didn't know he was going to be injured
Listen.
before they invited them. Maybe they did it for Neymar, not Messi.
Listen,
You're a hater, man.
Neymar's got that gold.
If Messi played for
Olympic
Spurs,
gold.
you would
Olympic
be going on
gold.
to the end of the of days about Messi. Stop being biased, man.
Listen, man, Ronaldo's the GOAT. That's all I'm saying. Ronaldo's now got 2 international trophies, while Messi has.
Okay.
Okay.
anyway, we've got something else to discuss. So we'll talk about the big topics here.
Sounds depressing.
The Raptors did it in 6.
Hey.
No, don't hate.
tight,
Because you said
Kawhi.
Kawhi's not on the level
I'll
with Kevin
type mine
Durant.
down, Kawhi.
Nah, you said Kawhi
Go
wasn't
check
on the
last
level with
week's footage.
Durant.
I got the Kawhi jersey on. I knew it was happening.
Nah,
I knew it was
you're
coming.
not getting
The
allowed to do
foresight.
this. No,
These
you
man
can't
don't know.
do this. You can't do this.
What?
You have to put.
Do what?
Put up with, bro.
You know
This
what
is a
you
mess.
Was
done?
I not wearing a Kawhi
You know
Leonard
what
jersey
you done?
last week?
Stop trying to make it.
Was I
Stop
not
trying
wearing
to
a
ask me
Kawhi
What
Leonard
did you
jersey
say?
last
What did you
week?
say?
Why are you asking me them questions? What did you
My
say
guy.
about
But
Kawhi?
what did you say?
What did you say
say?
about Kawhi in the group
I
chat?
said he was out for a year, and you said he's a top 5 guy. I said, we'll have
And
to
what
wait.
I did say
We'll
that.
have to
Thank
wait.
you for
See
saying that.
what
I
he
said that. I did
does
say that.
when he comes
He's
back
top
off his
5.
injury. And what did he do?
No, you didn't say that. You didn't say when he comes back from
the
injury.
championship, baby.
I said to you,
Two-time MVP.
Kawhi might be going to the Clippers. And I said to you that KD might be going Clippers as well. And I said to you, they're sharing the teams 50-50. You said, no, Kawhi is not on the same level with KD. I said to you, you're buzzing.
What?
I said to you,
When
you're buzzing.
this guy's just making a conversation.
I made up a line.
There is no evidence
Yes,
of
there
this
is.
conversation.
You know what? If I could back out my phone now, I'll put it on screen.
Back it out.
No,
Add it to the
there's
edits.
too many pictures and shit on there. People can't see that shit. Bro.
Nah, bro. Listen, I said we need to see how he is after coming back from injury. If you're out for a year,
You never admit things.
that's natural. If
Just
you're out
admit
for a year,
things.
it's natural to be like, oh, he's not the best. You're saying he's
I
the
didn't say he's
best.
the best.
Let's
Why'd you
get
change
into
the
it then.
conversation?
Right
Let's really
was the
get into it.
best.
Let's really get
KD's
into
not
it.
the best when LeBron was around.
Speaking on LeBron, what's
I
happening
love
now? What's happening with LeBron now?
My Lakers are
Listen,
back. My Lakers are back.
AD, it's
You
happening.
don't support us, bro. You're
What do you
OKC.
mean? This
You got
glory
bounced out.
hunter, yeah.
You got
This
bounced
glory
out in the first
hunter,
round.
yeah.
You got bounced out in the first round.
Yo, you leave Russell Westbrook out of this
First
year.
round. Westbrook
This
the
glory
goal.
hunter, all of a sudden now wants to rock his.
No, but how much of it? How much of
purple
a
and
difference?
gold again?
I'm not a Lakers fan now. People
Where
are gonna
was
lie.
you this year?
Huh?
Where was
was
you this year?
depressed.
No, but remember,
I
he's
was
been a
depressed.
Lakers fan since like the 70s, man. Like, you got
Thank you.
That it.
You know what? He's right.
Nah.
You know what it is? I was born in '69, yeah, and I was always a Lakers fan since then.
What, when Jerry West and them man were playing?
Bro, when the icon was made for the NBA, I was happy
Wow.
still. Why?
When it's the ABA.
Yeah.
Which
When we
you're
merged,
crazy.
when the ABA merged
Seasoned
with
vet.
the NBA.
Listen, nah. I think next year though, what are we saying? Lakers?
I'm saying Lakers that we got a good chance, bro.
What, favourites?
Huh? As it stands
Because
now,
you
we've
look
got
at it,
Golden
Golden,
State favourites.
Golden State, you've got KD out for the year, you've got Clay.
They've
out
got
for half.
injuries. Yeah, they're so
KD
trouble.
might not re-up, so
No, I think he'll re-up. But rehab there and then leave the next year, I think.
No, but isn't he out for the whole of the season? That's what
Yeah,
they're saying.
which is why I think he'll
Yeah.
spend his time rehabbing at Golden
he could
State.
sign somewhere else and still
Yeah.
get a max. He can get a max
Yeah,
any
this
way
is
he
it.
wants.
It's a risk though for the team that whoever's going to take.
Fam,
I
you
think New
think
York's
the
desperate
Nets-
enough.
They're
Nah,
gonna- they're
Nets
gonna take-
Nets are going to
they're
get
gonna
Kyrie
max.
apparently. Nets are really going
Nah,
after
he's not
Kyrie.
worth it, man.
Nah, man,
KD
I don't
swear.
I'll take injured KD over Kyrie in day of the week.
I would all day. KD's a walking bucket, man.
Yeah, Kyrie.
Kemba's the one that needs
be
to
in
come
the
and join.
finals this year
Yeah.
with the Celtics. With that team, they should have been in the finals.
Yeah, 100%. If you can't do it with that team, Kyrie, I'm
Losing
sorry,
to
you're
Greek
not a leader.
freak.
You're not.
Guy's a one-trick pony. All he could do is come down the lane.
trick. That's hard to
One
stop.
trick
though.
pony.
We got to give
trick
an
that is
honorable
hard to
mention
stop,
to.
bro.
Kawhi stopped him.
We got to give an honorable mention to my guy, man, because I mean,
Bro, I'm glad you brought it up. DeMar DeRozan. He needs to get an honorary ring.
Nah,
he
don't.
has
This
to
is
be
like-
given something
yeah.
He's a loser.
because there's no way
No,
he's
that's
put in
unfair,
all
man.
that work.
How's it unfair? He signed a deal. The guy's getting like meals a year, and you're talking about unfair.
Yeah.
man.
My
Last
salary's
7
unfair. I
years,
need
if
more.
you saw what he was doing for the Raptors,
And then
this was Mr.
Oh.
Raptor.
Mr.
then-
Raptor, and where did they keep doing? Losing to LeBron, getting spanked 4-0.
Exactly. And the
4-0,
1 year
4-0,
LeBron's not there, you
4-0.
get rid of him. Give him something at least, man.
No, because we would have lost to the Greek freak.
Come on, man.
you say we.
Yeah.
What Who are you? Which team? What, is that your
Like,
team
you
in
know,
the East and the
I
West?
used to live in Toronto, that's why. So I'm a
Oh
big fan.
Mr. International. Well, he's been around
Just
for
'cause you ain't
40
got no
plus
passport,
years.
you're
You've
mad
got-
at-
Have you got any hot
everywhere.
takes for us?
No passport.
Any
you're mad.
rumors we need to look out for? Any transfer rumors we need to look out for?
No, I ain't got none at the moment still. Nah.
What's your next piece? What's your next piece on?
My next piece?
Yeah.
Nah, pending, bro. You'll find out in time.
Spurs
Due
hatred,
time.
probably.
I like Spurs.
You hate Spurs.
I like Spurs, just don't
with
like
a
you.
passion.
I like Spurs. I just don't like you.
I don't want no one to like me.
I don't like you. I like
Hey,
Spurs,
T
bro.
Brown, who do you support?
Who does? I told you it's Brighton.
Listen,
you guys not listening. You got me on the guest to ruin me.
Hey,
now.
we need
Is
you
that what
back.
you've done?
We need you back.
One day. I'll come back still.
That's it,
Face
man.
to the people.
See you later.